Happy Halloween, Gothamites. Welcome back to Batman Arkham Knight. Last time, we started analyzing some of Scarecrow's new fear toxin, and we found out it has a particular, frequency that it seems to respond to. Don't ask me how, science. So we're going to take advantage of the radio tower here on top of Panessa Studios to try and help us track it down.
The generator's damaged. I need to bypass it and power the antenna directly.
Hello again, Mr. Wayne. How can I help you this time?
Is the power winch ready for deployment?
It's 100% functional, though no guarantees if you're intending to pull that car of yours up the side of a building.
You read my mind.
It's in the job description, Mr. Wayne. Batwing's on its way.
So yeah, time to grab the Batmobile and grab our first upgrade for it. Not counting Wayne Tech upgrades, those don't really count. We will be getting upgrades to the Batmobile throughout the game, things like increasing our weapon capacity or giving us more secondary weapons.
When I'm finished, the world will be forever changed.
Blah blah blah, I'm such a visionary. Fear, fear, fear. I'm Scarecrow. That's my Scarecrow impression. Much like the Batmobile, the power winch is going to be used quite a bit throughout the game.
Onto the roof.
I'll improvise.
The winch needs a secure anchor point to function. Once it's attached, just hit reverse. And please be careful with the car, Mr. Wayne. She's one of a kind.
All you have to do is pop the car into tank mode, and then you'll be able to anchor to a point, and then you just let the horsepower talk. Now, something else the game tells you here is your battle mode, or tank mode, is very good as sort of a, well, it's multi-useful. You can use it as sort of a instant brake. You can use it to maneuver more easily through these cramped areas. Battle mode is something I make pretty good use of in order to, let's say I make a wrong turn. The ability to instantly kind of turn on a dime and look to where you're trying to get to is pretty darn important when you're trying to chase things down. Also, see that wall? Now you don't. This is where I'm going to pick up the first Riddler trophy of the game.
Hi, diddle-diddle, detective. I see you've begun pitting that mediocre mind of yours against my riddles. I had plenty of time to conceive them, Batman. When you left me battered and demeaned in Arkham City. I am the Riddler, Batman. I don't suffer humiliation. I pay it back. So solve my riddles if you can. They'll be very important later.
There are 243 riddles to solve this time around. A little over half of what there was in Arkham City. That one had 440 if you count Catwoman. And I believe, I think Arkham Origins had around 200 data packs. So really it's not terrible. Oh yeah, you can totally pull the Batmobile up buildings. Because, yeah, strong winch. The power winch does have a secondary function. If you hook it into something electrical, sometimes you can just go ahead and rev your engine and, hey, there's your AC. Actually, maybe it's DC. I'm not sure. I assume it's DC. Generators usually run on DC.
Oracle, I've restored power to the radio antenna.
Great. I'm connecting now. I was just talking to Robin. I think you should too.
Bruce, you need me out there. We can find Scarecrow faster together.
What you're working on is more important, Tim.
Can wait one night. Let me help.
I've got this under control.
Okay. Listen, try checking in once in a while. We're partners, remember?
He just wants to help, you know.
Is the antenna ready?
Yeah, but we're going to need a microwave tower to triangulate Scarecrow's location. There's one at Falcone's shipping in the Cauldron. I've marked it on your map.
Thanks, Oracle.
As before in Arkham City,
Batmobile's power
Robin
in the
this time
antenna.
around, or
We
Robin
can't
that
use
time
it
around
right
as well, is Tim Drake, who is the third Robin. The first Robin being Dick Grayson, who is currently Nightwing. Second Robin being Jason Todd, which, crowbars and jokers. And right now we're on the third Robin. If I'm not mistaken, somebody else, another member of the Bat family shows up a bit later, but she was never a Robin. But it's still neat to see. Something I don't know if I've mentioned, the amount of lift you get off of your dive actually varies based on how far down you're going. The farther down you go, the higher up you can lift yourself. It's pretty neat.
Same place twice.
We're wasting time. We've got the run of the whole city and we're stuck up here guarding some antenna.
You heard
Scarecrow's men are guarding the antenna. I need to evaluate the threat and plan my attack.
that happens.
This area sort of
5 soldiers,
serves as your
all armed. If I alert them,
introduction
they'll
to
kill the
Predator
hostage.
to Predator
I need to
mode.
reach a vantage point to draw them outside.
It makes you use vantage points, makes you use detective mode, all that sort of thing. It's very much on rails.
I'd like to see you say that to his face.
If I can separate them, they'll be easier to take down.
Also, using batarangs to distract people is apparently more effective this time around. I haven't made too much use of it, but that may change as time goes on, as I do more challenge rooms.
Hey, you hear that? Someone's out there. You two, go take a look. The door stays locked. I'm taking no chances. Got it, boss.
Now, I wanted to go ahead and glide down to these guys, but the game makes very sure that it makes you swing between vantage points. I guess they really want to make sure you've got that down. Which, hey, that's fine. I mean, I guess they're just not letting you screw up on this first time.
We're all armed. He's fast, but he ain't that fast.
The game does give you a bit of increased range on your silent takedowns now. You don't have to be right behind the guy. You can actually be a fairly good distance away before you start it.
3 more soldiers inside. They think they're safe if they stick together. Lucius, I've got a hostage situation. 3 gunmen. I need to take them all out before they can react. Is it ready?
Flexible plates over an MR fluid armor layer. You'll move faster, hit harder, and look scarier while doing so.
Send it, Lucius. Now.
Already airborne, Mr. Wayne.
Did somebody say wardrobe change? Oh yes, I did. Wardrobe change! Maybe it'd be better if I said makeover. Makeover!
Well, Mr. Wayne, let me walk you through it. The outer and inner layers of the bodysuit are made of a titanium-dipped tri-weave. It's between those layers where things get interesting. Wayne in-tech MR fluid hardens in response to impact. With this kind of shock absorption, you'll be able to put more force into your counterattacks. The liquid armor's more flexible than the fibers you're accustomed to as well. You can use that increased maneuverability to take out multiple foes in quick succession. The suit's compatible with the Batmobile's electromagnetic eject mechanism, too. You'll fly out of that thing like a bullet from a railgun. Speaking of which, the new grapnel launcher will pull you skyward just as fast. Don't worry, Mr. Wayne. That suit can take the G's. How's it feel, Mr. Wayne? I've activated the AR training program should you want to run diagnostics, or just break it in.
All those things you just mentioned, I'm gonna go ahead and go through all those because they give me more upgrade points. The first one they want to make sure you know about is the Fear Takedown, which is one of the primary changes they've made for Predator mode this time around. If you get close to a group of guys, let's say 3 of them, and you're sneaky about it, you can actually take them down one after another without being in any danger at all.
Simulation activated.
There's a couple different ways in which you can actually use the Fear Takedown, different circumstances, and they're all pretty useful. A lot of times, anywhere you could do a regular takedown or a silent takedown, you'll also have the option to do a Fear Takedown from that location if multiple enemies are next to each other.
Simulation activated.
And perhaps even more importantly, you are able to chain your Fear Takedown pretty much across a fairly wide area.
Simulation complete.
At its base level, the Fear Takedown can only take down 3 guards, but you can upgrade it to take down up to 5 guards, which that can make your Predator runs a little
Simulation activated.
balanced in your favor. Now that we have the new Batsuit, we can actually take a bit more advantage of the Batmobile. Previously, I always had to exit the Batsuit in order to get out of it. Now I can actually eject into a glide. And the more speed you have in the Batmobile when you eject, the more air you'll get. And this is where the game starts doing more along the lines of what the grapnel boost in Arkham City did. You can get a lot more height off of it, and really, the Batmobile will be using that quite a bit, so might as well get used to it now. You can also call the Batmobile from pretty much anywhere in the city. Doesn't matter if you left it near you or not. The automatic navigation systems are pretty darn good as long as the Batmobile has access to that area. All you have to do is either be above a street or look at the street and hit L1, and the Batmobile will be there to help you in no time.
Simulation activated.
The Grapnel Boost Mark II just requires us to hit the X button or your run button, whatever it is, 3 times instead of 2 times. And this time around the game is actually going to give you somewhat of a tutorial in terms of dive bombing. If I remember it right from Arkham City, the game, it kind of expected you to pick up on dive bomb gliding over time, but it never forced you to do so, unless you were trying to get all the riddles or the Riddler's challenges. This time around, with the city being so much larger, they probably felt like it was more important for you to absolutely figure out dive bomb gliding. And it makes sense. There's a lot of things to do in the air this time around. There are further upgrades for the grapnel boost. There's a Mark III and a Mark IV, both of which require either 4 presses or 5 presses. And you can get some pretty huge air off of those things. The challenge here is just to stay airborne for a minute, which is easy enough if you're using the grapnel boost and everything else. The Grapnel Boost Mark II is closer to what it was for the regular Grapnel Boost in Arkham City, which I think I mentioned. Using it will give you a little bit of extra air instead of just launching you above where you're at.
Simulation complete.
Now that we've unlocked the new Batsuit, we've also pretty much unlocked our new critical counter method for this game. So whenever an enemy attacks you now, they'll have two phases of the critical, or of the counter icon. One where it's normal and one where it's kind of flashing. When it's flashing, if you press the stick towards them and then press the counter button, you'll actually do a throw. And that throw can interrupt enemies around you, it'll do more damage, and it'll increment your combo by 2. So these are essentially your critical counters for this game. It does work on multiple enemies, so if you have 2 or 3 enemies attacking at once, just hit the stick in each direction accordingly, and you'll see some pretty snazzy takedowns.
Simulation activated.
This last simulation is just to, I guess, get used to the concept of Predator rooms. There aren't too many enemies to take down, and they're all in pretty isolated spots. Really, this entire thing gets a lot more difficult later. But none of them are an area where they're easily able to be taken down by the fear takedown, so it's probably important enough to get used to the concept now. Most of the takedowns from Arkham City are still intact, along with, well, they've got a good couple new ones. Doing your corner takedowns is a bit easier now, since Batman will use the Batclaw to actually drag enemies to him, where they can be taken down. Just like the silent takedowns from behind, the corner takedowns have had their range increased.
One hostage. Time to put this suit to the test.
What the hell was that? You just call it backup? What's happening?
The new suit is faster and more mobile. By getting close without being detected, I can get the jump on them, and in the panic, take down all 3 before they know what's hit them.
In case you didn't feel like doing the AR challenges, well, they're gonna make sure you understand the fear takedown. Ah, did he just punch that guy in the nuts? Oh god, he got air on that one.
Man, they said you were quick, but I never saw anyone take down 3 armed guys like that. Unbelievable.
You're safe now. I'll send someone to pick you up.
Thank you. Hey, tell me you're gonna find Scarecrow. That son of a bitch needs to be stopped.
Oracle, I've attached the uplink to the microwave tower.
Perfect. I made an anonymous call to GCPD. They're gonna send someone to pick up the hostage. Come on, connect. Love the suit, by the way. Okay, both towers are fully online.
Time to find Scarecrow. I need to use both antennas to identify the micro and radio wave frequencies across Gotham. If I can find both frequencies at the same location, I'll know where Scarecrow is manufacturing his toxin.
This is a, I don't know, I guess you might call it a short little segment where all you have to do is line up the antennas so they're both focusing on the same thing. Spoilers, it's today's chemicals.
The radio and microwave frequencies point to Ace Chemicals. That's where Scarecrow's producing the toxin.
Jim, I've traced the fear toxin to Ace Chemicals. That's where we'll find Scarecrow.
Impossible. I've had a team there ever since the evacuation started, just like you asked.
Crane must have bought them off. Or worse.
I'm in the area. I'll round up my guys and head over.
Hold off until I get there, Jim. I'm on my way.
So, I mentioned before that it's not always clear what's faster as either gliding or the Batmobile, but a good majority of the time, it's going to be the Batmobile.
I warned them, Batman.
So we, a lot of these different most wanted missions, like the firefighters, or the bodies that are being left around, they aren't always, it's not always clear where you have to go to find the next one. They're always in the same areas at the same times, but you have to look around to find them before they'll be marked out for you on your most wanted missions.
Why are you doing this? You don't ask the questions here, punk. Yeah, how about we staple your lips together? You like that? Just what I thought. I want you silent. Except when we're beating your ass. Then I want to hear you cry. Makes it more enjoyable. It's like music to my ears. Like...
So yeah, fear takedowns also work on combat encounters. I recommend it because it makes me feel good.
Thank you. I thought I was dead for sure. Those animals.
Think. What do you remember about the attack?
The chief had us heading back into the city, searching for civilians. He said we weren't leaving anyone behind, and then from nowhere this fireball or something slammed into us. I must have blacked out. Next thing I know, one of these psychos is stubbing a cigarette out on me. You found the others? What about the chief?
I'm still looking. Wait here. I'll arrange for you to be taken to safety.
There are quite a number of these firefighters, as you've seen, and once you finish the most wanted mission, you get that little cluster of the 3 symbols. That does stand for 3 upgrade points, so one of the things the game points out to start with is that the fastest way to get upgrade points is by finishing these most wanted missions. And it's not wrong. You'll always find large groups of enemies standing around rioting, banging up storefronts, but the truth is, beating up those guys doesn't give you experience. I mean, it can be fun, don't get me wrong, but you don't get experience out of it. So, sometimes your upgrade points have to be husbanded appropriately. Collected? Husbanded? Stored? Words.
Any word from inside?
Nothing. We think there's a skeleton crew left in there, but they're not responding and the facility's locked down.
If they're still alive, I'll find them. They should be able to tell us what Scarecrow's up to.
What the hell?
Come on, let's go! Come on, move! 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 Take cover! Time to die, old man.
In death, he has nothing left to fear. Keep him away from Ace Chemicals. Your vengeance will come.
This ends tonight.
Friend of yours?
Stay here, and I'll go find out. Oracle, whoever this guy is, he's assembled an army. I need a name.
All right. We've got something here from a Black Ops team operating in Venezuela. They discovered a hidden training facility housing soldiers bearing the same insignia. There's nothing but speculation on their commander, though. The only thing sources agree on is his name. The Arkham Knight.
The Arkham Knight. Hack into their comms. I need to know what they're planning.
Anything else?
There's a crew of Ace Chemicals workers left on site. They'll be able to help us track down Scarecrow and locate his bomb. I need to find them.
Each worker will be carrying a unique ID chip.
If I can access their personnel records, I'll be able to track them.
There's a security terminal in a booth near your location. Try there.
Well, I think we'll try that next time. So, for now, good night, Gotham.